Hello everyone, and welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix. So it is then round 17 for my ultimate career mode in my Mana Mercedes car, and well, hopefully you've seen the last couple of videos and managed to get up to I ran over something like, was it three or four wins in a row, but managed to only get P2 last time out. Don't forget we are driving the Mana, so actually P2 is probably a solid result, but those run of really good results has meant we're starting to think about the championship now. So we'll see what we can do on this track now. It's actually a track I quite enjoy. It's not a track I've always been the quickest at, but it's certainly a track I enjoy, and it's certainly a track I'm not exactly slow at. I've certainly got worse tracks, so hoping for a pretty solid result here. Just the one DRS zone, but I think this is a track that is really going to test my car, so I don't know if I should be too hopeful, to be honest with you, for the results. And here's the drivers championship from last time out. So 164 points are on, and 39 points back with 5 races remaining, including the one you're about to watch. So we need an average of less than 10 points per race, so realistically we need a couple of wins. And unfortunately it's now Daniel Ricciardo up top with Kimi Raikkonen just in second there. And Daniel Ricciardo, you see on the right hand side there, with comfortably the best car in his Red Bull. Ferrari just behind, and we're still the 5th fastest car. And after the last couple of races of having no updates at all, we've finally got an upgrade, a chassis weight upgrade, coming for the next race, which I'm not sure what that is at this stage. You see on the right side, that should put us just about in line with Williams, not that far off Mercedes, so that is really going to help. We need all the upgrades we can get. Now, let's have a look then. Absolutely full wet qualifying. You can see in the top left, I'm already in P1, but I'm only about 2/10 or so ahead of Ricciardo, so really tight stuff, so I need to try and improve. Actually, this is something like my 3rd lap in a row. You see me 4 seconds down there. The last sort of 2 or 3 laps in a row I'd have to abandon. I just wasn't up. I was just losing time, so I had to back off and save some fuel and then go for it the next lap. Kept doing that until this lap. You see the checker flag just fallen. Just about had enough time to get one more lap in, so we're going to push it now to see if we can improve. 49.7 as our current lap time. We're already 10th a bit down after the first turn. Taking lots of grass there in what is the 3rd, 4th corner, something like that. And set around about 10th down, so these S's are pretty tricky in the Mana kart in the full wet. Not a lot of grip, but clearly probably a little bit more grip than the Red Bull cars, because it's Verstappen as well in P3. Interestingly, Ricciardo and Verstappen, so both Red Bulls are very close behind. And we need to be Verstappen. We want Verstappen right up there, because he is actually behind us in the championship. So ideally we want Verstappen ahead of Ricciardo. And see, we're a 10th down after the first sector then, so not too bad. We didn't lose any more after the first turn. Little wheel spin, you see me just snaking around coming out that corner. We're just under a 10th up now. Oh, we've had a bad line there. We should have backed off more in that previous corner. And caused us to have a really tight line. We did flick to green briefly there on the Delta in the top right. But just want to say it wasn't able to stay there because we weren't able to get the same exit when we took a better line on the previous lap. That puts us now 2/10 down, unfortunately, just over 2/10 down coming to the next turn. So we really need to improve. Verstappen's actually moving us to P2 in the top left, and we really need to push it now into Spoon. And down to 3rd, trying to take a nice tight late apex so I can get the power. There's that dip there that just unsettles the car slightly on the power heavily now. That was a nice corner. We're getting some on the exit there. Probably only be about half a 10th down or so coming into 130R, which is the very next corner, which absolutely is not flat in the full wet conditions. It's even a downshift. Purple fastest of anyone in the middle sector. Little downshift there, nailing the curb. Pretty good exit there, and hard on the throttle. We're actually 10th and a half up. A little bit less, we brake a little bit early this time, but we'll see if we can nail this final chicane to improve. And it looks like we're about even with our previous lap, but no, we had a much better exit, and that puts us 2.5 tenths up. Not quite as good exit as previous lap actually on the traction, but that puts us 2 tenths up on a previous lap, which should give us a pole, which it does indeed. You see it flash the purple there. P1 then in full wet. I tell you what, we could do in more rain. I do seem to be really competitive, probably the fastest car on the track in the rain, even in my Mana, with the 5th fastest car. And the only man into 149s there, on pole by nearly half a second to Max Verstappen after that little improvement, and my teammate up in P10, but unfortunately a penalty for him, which pushed him down to P15, so I don't think we should hope for any points for him in this race. Now, the race. So we're about 7/10 ahead of Ferrari as well, so it's really Red Bull are my strongest challengers, which is why Ricciardo is my biggest title challenger, despite the championship being so close at the top. Now, race. It is full dry. You can see on the top there, all cloudy, so we're not going to get no rain at all in the race. So hopefully we've got pretty good race pace as well, pretty good dry pace as well. So we're starting on soft tyres, and actually slightly used soft tyres, going to lap 5, and then go to a set of the hard tyres. That is the mandatory tyres, so we can't use the mediums. Now, 4 lights then, 5 lights, clutch in, revs up. Clutch out and away we go then. Not a bad start. Reaction time for me there. Well, actually, Max Verstappen's had a really nice starter inside there. No one else has. No one else is even near us, but Max Verstappen going to squeeze him slightly. Now go to the outside to take a nice sweep line. Oh, bit of contact there. You can see the hand coming out of the cockpit. And there's actually a yellow flag. I don't know. I think actually there's a guy off the track. I think Verstappen might have just completely flown off the track there, unfortunately for him. But well, let's have a look at replay. Super slow-mo replay and just see what we could have done. So we're just turning in now, leaving plenty of room, even steer out slightly when we see him coming in. Look at that. Well, we left him comfortably a car from the inside, and you can see us there with the contact ended right out on the curb. I'm not sure there's much else we could have done. I think he just wanted us to back right out of it, which we were never going to do. We were certainly side by side coming to that first turn. So, well, let me know in the comments what you thought of that incident. Personally, I'm blaming entirely Max Verstappen on that one. He was just much too aggressive on my inside, didn't give me enough room. Just expect me to seemingly jump out the way. But like I said, do let me know in the comments what you thought of that incident. Now, after the first sector, then we're only 2 tenths up on Vettel, so we've pulled out a slight amount after that first turn. Actually, Vettel, who started P4, of course, now got ahead of Ricciardo. And again, Vettel is the guy we absolutely do want ahead of Ricciardo, because Vettel is not, well, he is ahead of us in the championship at the minute, but he's a fair way back from Ricciardo, so we could do with Vettel beating Ricciardo. That'd be really nice. And see the minimap, there's a bit of a gap forming to P4. Not too sure it's in P4 at the minute, but if we could push now, get a bit of a gap to almost guarantee P4, that'd be nice. But to be honest with you, it's probably Ricciardo's going to be quicker than us in P4, so I think we should hold our breath for that. And what's going on behind? Vettel is going to get some slipstream on us, but I don't think he's going to be able to get past us now. Pretty close coming to 130R, but this is not an overtaking zone. It's absolutely flat and pretty scary stuff on your own, let alone side by side. So Vettel thinks better on that one. Nailing our breaking point there nicely, nailing our apexes. Trying to get exit now, and Vettel is pretty close behind us. I think by the line he might be about a 10th, maybe less behind us as he gets to the line. How far back is he? He's just over a 10th behind us. He's very close, going to get some slipstream, and just seems to be gaining on us. So we go to Rich. Oh, actually, almost a bit of contact there. I'm not sure if he's going to try it on our outside or what, but we kind of stuck to the middle of the track. And despite slipstream, he didn't seem to gain too much on us there, did he? And that was certainly an interesting one. So looking like he's staying very close to me now, though. Look at that, looking at wing mirrors. He's all over the back of us. And I'll fall back slightly there. I think that my man of car is certainly not up to the Ferrari and Red Bull's cars in the first sector, at least. I think final sector is the sector that I should be pretty strong, purely because 130R is completely flat and then pretty good for braking in the chicane. A little bit deep there. That's cost me slightly. There's a bit of time, really, just all about minimum corner speed through that. That's what I lost. And Vettel doesn't look like I'm going to be able to pull away, does it, at all? Although still a bit of a gap forwards P4, so whatever's happening, oh, actually P5 I think it is. Looks like there's a car broken away from that, so whoever's in that position, hopefully they stay there, because that means I'm less likely to get held up in the pits and things like that. Now, Vettel, we are not going to be able to pull away from him. Ricciardo, they're not looking like Ricciardo's going to be able to make too many moves on Vettel, not for the time being, which again is absolutely helping us. We need Vettel to be in P2, well, we need to be in P1 first and foremost, and if we could choose who's in P2, we need not to be Ricciardo and ideally not Raikkonen either. And we're purple, unsurprisingly there, 8 tenths up on our previous. And Vettel's again pretty close, but a bit of a bigger gap this time, so we can nail our exit here, which we've had a much better final chicane than we did on the previous lap. And looks like, yep, we should be quite comfortable down this straight now. Yeah, he's much further back, isn't he? We will get some slipstream as we get as fast as that, which immediately gets beaten by Kimi Raikkonen, who must be the guy in P4, who annoyingly is my other championship rival, but 8 tenths up on me there, so pretty solid amount. Coming on to lap 4 now then. And this is, of course, the first real lap. Well, it's the first lap that they will get DRS, I think. Because lap 3, yep, they wouldn't quite have gone on lap 3, so this is the first lap they'll get it. And here he goes. He's pretty close to me. And very close to me. He's gaining these in DRS. I'm going to squeeze him now on the outside. He's probably going to trap on the outside. There is he. Yes, he is. He outbrakes me massively, but goes too deep. That actually ends up all 4 wheels off the track. And not sure what kind of move that was, Vettel, but it certainly didn't work well. We keep our position quite comfortably there. And on to lap 5 now then. So just the end of that last lap. And they see Vettel's pretty close behind us again there. He's going to get DRS. But actually moves into the pits then. Vettel is into the pits. And are we due to pit this lap anyway? Pit window closing. So I think we were trying to squeeze out. And actually we were due to pit on lap 5, weren't we? So we've decided to stay out an extra lap because our tyres were looking pretty healthy. So we've decided to push it slightly late because we know that we're going to be going to the hard tyres. We're not going to be going to the mediums. So it'll be 2 steps harder on the tyres. And I don't think our tyre wear is too bad at the minute. So we've decided to stay out for 1 extra lap. And a lot of people in the pits, we might have got held up, so that could pay dividends, but we need to push now. We need to push very hard, because Kimi Raikkonen's behind us. He will be quicker than us, but hopefully we can stay ahead of him. We all over the grass there. Certainly not the best way to do that corner. You see me there, lots of wheel spin, just with dirty rear tyres, a little bit wide as well. Probably lost about, well, a good few tenths there. It was not, certainly not ideal. And Raikkonen then just 8 tenths back from us now. 8 tenths, so, well, I was hoping to keep a bit of a gap to him in the hope that when we come into the pits, we'll be able to stay ahead of him. But if he's that close to him, he's got a solid chance of coming out ahead of us. Unfortunately, see there lots of wheels, but just really light up the rears, pushing so hard now on Rich even right now, just to try and break the slipstream of the car behind. And of course, we've got to think about Sebastian Vettel as well, who's just pit for brand new tyres and is theoretically about 8 tenths a lap faster than us. So he's quite a solid amount faster than us. But two compounds harder, but brand new tyres. I don't know how that's going to play out, but either way, we need to push. Raikkonen is pretty close to us. We're trying to dodge a slipstream even from this distance, staying tight to the inside. They're going to Rich mixture as well. Still 7/10 up on him then at the last count. So unfortunately, we haven't managed to gain anything more on that. We just need to absolutely nail the final chicane. A little bit of lock of the inside tyre. That's what we want to do. That's pretty much nailed that. Really nice pit entry now. Can I nail the pit limiter line? We need to push it a little bit, but not take any risks. And tell you what, that was close. Absolutely nailed that though. How far is Raikkonen back? 9/10. Another 2/10 in the final sector. Is that going to make the difference? How good is the Ferrari Crew's pit stop? Well, he's not held up in the pits by the looks of it. He's straight back out. And there he is. I think he might come up behind him. Oh no! Really good stop there. 2.2 second stop by the Mana Crew. Really, really nice stop. I think possibly my fastest stop of the season. Just got me out ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. It looks like Vettel's not coming down the pit straight. And I think honestly, if that pit stop was 2/10 slower, we probably would have had to hold me, and I'd have come out behind Kimi Raikkonen. So that pit stop was vital that it was that fast. And it's dropped back slightly on the pit exit there. They tend to be a little bit slow on the pit out. And well, it looks like Vettel must have got ahead of some traffic there. I'm not sure if he's the next car behind Raikkonen or what, but it looks like Vettel and by extension the Red Bulls did get held up in some traffic, which means it's pretty much a battle with me and Raikkonen for the win for now, unless anyone else manages to catch up. But just going to push hard now, see if I can maintain that gap to Raikkonen. He's 8/10 back at the minute. We've also got some lap traffic just ahead as well, which we need to try and dispatch off really quickly. You can see we're going to Rich there. Got plenty of fuel, 1.4 laps of fuel. Just trying to overtake these cars as quick as I can. Got a little bit deep there but to pick up a nice late apex. Get a good exit. That was pretty nice. Not bad. A little bit of oversteer, but not bad at all. And I just want to know if it's Vettel just behind Raikkonen. If it's more slower cars that haven't pit yet, we could be in with a great shot here of being under little pressure till the end. I've only really been under pressure from Kimi Raikkonen. And reasonably close to colour signs now all over the curb. They're just trying to get a good exit. And, well, going to Rich. Going to get some slipstream, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think, to get him before 130R. It's not. It is not. So we need to try and overtake him straight after 130R. Though, in fact, we're all over the back of him. A little bit of a lift there, even just to get a nice tight line. Going to go around his outside for the next corner. Then can we outbrake him? No, we can't even manage to outbrake us. We do try and hover around the outside. Yes, we do. Squeeze him on the first apex and take the second apex comfortably. That's move done then. Now we've got to hope that he can now stay ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. We get DRS, which is always going to help. We can got to hope that he can stay ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, because then Kimi Raikkonen will get held up for probably an extra lap. And it looks like he is on the minimap. He is indeed staying comfortably ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. So fair play to Carlos Sainz, and that is beautiful for us, because that means that Raikkonen is going to get held up by a slower car, and we need to now push and try and get past Hulkenberg as quickly as possible so that we don't now get held up in traffic as well. And again, not too sure who it is behind Raikkonen, but they seem to have reasonable pace, so I think it might be a pack of Red Bulls and well, a Red Bull, a Ferrari perhaps, and I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I don't really know. They seem to be catching Raikkonen though, so maybe it is. I'm not too sure. We'll find out once everyone's pitted. You can see me just closing in nicely on Nico Hulkenberg up ahead now. Staying in standard mix for now, but we are getting some slipstream. We are pulling the gap to Sainz, because Hulkenberg seems to have some reasonable pace, a little bit deep there. Can we pick up a late apex? Yes, nice late apex there. Trying to get on the power, bit of oversteer though. That was frustrating. I want to try and get him into the next corner, but that's just not going to be possible now, unfortunately, with that poor exit. But we should hopefully be able to get him before 130R, unlike what we did with Sainz. And a little wide there, complete miss. My apex is going to push me all over the curve down to third, trying to take a late apex, but all over the grass once again there. And again, not a great spoon, so Hulkenberg gets a better exit than me. I don't think we're going to be able to quite get past him, unfortunately. And looks like Raikkonen is now going to overtake Carlos Sainz. There he goes, past him before 130R. Gaining Hulkenberg now, a little bit of lift before 130R again. Once again, we're going to try and go on the outside again. Just a bit of Carlos Sainz. He managed to break us a little bit better than Sainz did. We're going to squeeze him on the first apex once again. Take our second apex for the move then. So we have to do the same difficult move around the outside twice on these back markers. And looks like Hulkenberg does now pit. And looks like that Raikkonen is now our next car behind. So all Hulkenberg did there was held us up a little bit. Did get some DRS assistance though, but lap 11 now, so we're skipping ahead a couple of laps, and look, Raikkonen is still behind us, and we've still got a gap. It is Daniel Ricciardo just behind him, so I've got no idea. Well, we know what happened to Verstappen. He blew up in the first corner. No idea what's happened to Vettel, because he was right behind me. He was in P2, and now he's nowhere to be seen. And Vettel isn't a championship rival, so that's a bit frustrating that my two championship rivals are going to finish second and third, unless they have an incident. But it's the ordering that we care about now, because we want I keep saying Raikkonen. That's not a driver, because we want Raikkonen to be in P2 ideally, because he's actually in P2 in the standings. Ricciardo's in P1 in the championship standings in the minute. So if we're gonna gain more on the lead, we need Raikkonen to beat Ricciardo ideally, just by 3 points. But that should help us out just a little bit. That might help us out by the end. So we really want Raikkonen to be up ahead here, and especially as he's got the slower car, of course, which is a big consideration. So even if P2 gives Raikkonen the lead of the driver's standings, of course, with the worst car, I wouldn't imagine he can hold on to that. So again, Ricciardo is still definitely my big rival for the title. But I tell you what, we've had a pretty solid pace, you know. I think we've been able to use a bit of rich mixture, and we've just pushed them. For some reason on the hard tyres, we've been able to maintain the gap pretty much to Raikkonen. He's been closing us down slightly, but not enough to make any real impression on us. And it has been a good couple of laps, so we've had some really solid pace on these hard tyres. Let's not forget, he picked the same lap as us as well, so it's nothing to do with tyre age. And he's just had some solid pace. It looks like Ricciardo is going to be side by side through 130R. Are they? Who comes out on top then? Again, we want Ricciardo to come out on top. Looks like Ricciardo is at the minute. Are they still side by side? I don't think they are. So, unfortunately, Daniel Ricciardo now comes out ahead of Raikkonen, coming on to the last lap of the race then, looking like I'm going to be quite comfortably get the win if I can have a solid last lap, which is looking like I can. 1.4, 1.8 goes up to. They lost 4 tenths in that final sector. Does Raikkonen get him back? No, we could do him get him back really quickly. He looks like he will just about get him back. Is it the inside? Doesn't matter because he's ahead of him anyway. So Raikkonen back up into P2. That is what we want. This is the order. Well, ideally we want them to be way down the field, but if they're going to finish P2 and 3, we want Raikkonen ahead of Ricciardo. So it's looking good. It's looking good so far. And again, I'm pretty amazed at my pace, to be honest with you. I did have the pace in wet quali, but that's because of the weather. Didn't seem to have the pace on the soft tyres in the beginning, but I've had solid pace on these hard tyres. And just been able to keep them at arm's length. I'm not sure if they've been battling or what, but yeah, we certainly, looks like Raikkonen's actually gained 4 tenths on me in the first sector there. So pretty solid, but we're now cruising really. We just don't want to make any silly mistakes. We know that they're realistically going to have no chance of overtaking us. They're just too far back. If he was all over us right now, we might be under pressure, but being a second back now, we've only got one more corner to go till the only place that he can really overtake me. And see me short shifting now. I'm actually now starting to think about the championship. See me now, I'm doing a bit of a Lewis Hamilton in Abu Dhabi. I'm now slowing down because I'm realising, you see me just crawling through this corner, I'm realising that I might need to give Raikkonen slipstream so that he can stay ahead of Ricciardo, because last lap, Ricciardo managed to overtake him before 130R. And see me not even at full throttle, they're going down to 90% throttle, staying in 7th gear just to try and keep a bit close to Raikkonen, give him some slipstream. They are side by side coming through 130R, then who's going to come out on top? It looks like Raikkonen is, but he ran a little bit wide, he is still ahead. Does he stay ahead for the through the chicane? I think he's going to. Is it? Yes, he's still in. Oh, Ricciardo, they're still side by side. And I'm not sure who's going to come out ahead here. Looks like Raikkonen is ahead at the minute. And they're still, look at me. Like, oh, they're just absolutely side by side coming to the line. And despite coming across the line, for me to take a win, I was looking behind me more than in front of me there. Because I am really thinking about the championship now. But another win in my maiden season, in my Mana car. And I tell you what, I can't believe it. Is that I've completely lost count. I really checked this before I start commentating these videos. But is that the 4th, 5th win in a row? Something like that. Not in a row. 4th, 5th win of the season. And that is absolutely what we needed. And that's going to give us a decent gain. Don't forget, we started this race 39 points back from the leader. The leader didn't finish P2. The leader finished P3. So let's see what that does to the standings in just a moment's time as we watch the podium celebrations. And, well, that was a solid win. Especially as I had good pace on the hard tyres at the end there. And I'll certainly take that one. And see 1.8 back from them in the end, because or ahead of them in the end, because they were battling that final corner. Raikkonen did take it then by just about a 10th or so from Ricciardo. So they must have been virtually side by side. Rosberg puts in P4. Where's Hamilton? Hamilton's down in P7 then. So Rosberg, then Massa, then Vettel. Wow, okay, that's an interesting one. Now, actually, Raikkonen now leads the standings, interestingly, but we're now only 30 points back. We've just gained 9 points on the standings. We've got 4 races left to go and 30 points back, and this is absolutely possible now. We are gaining more than we need to do to take the title. If we can keep winning, we have got a great shot at this title here, and got a few cars up ahead. Actually, it's pretty close still. We need to be mindful of the Mercedes. They're not a million miles away from the front there. So we do need to make sure we keep winning, no matter who comes P2. And Constructors then, P4 is still pretty much all but sealed, isn't it? It'll be now a solid amount of points. What was that, 30, 40 points or so ahead of 35 points ahead of Williams there, but a long, long way back from Red Bull. So we are pretty much guaranteed P4 at this stage. So there it is then, guys. And wow, the title race is still very much on, isn't it? We're not stopping development. We're still going to keep developing our car, and hopefully we can get a win next time out. And I thank you for watching. Bye bye.